first carry now for David Montgomery. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. A play fake. Now Fields to throw. Open man. Gronkowski complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Fields eluding the pressure right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Out of the gun, Fields. He's going to go up top again. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Chicago. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Cousins gives way to Cook. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option. You
get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. And he's got his man on the out route. And he will have the Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On third down, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, second down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Play fake, Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. Touchdown, Vikings! CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Play action. It's Fields. Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. Yeah, good game catching ball in the backfield a week ago. They're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
These two teams all tied after one. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front. That's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game and they know it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Bears have taken the lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
14, Vikings 7.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Montgomery. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields sends it to the sideline, and Mooney makes a catch. And he'll be out of bounds. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. So Montgomery denied on 4th and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Sitting in 1st place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Give to Cook out of the gun. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
It's 3rd and 7.
To throw is Cousins. Flushed out right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the sign judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you've got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 24, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the Bears are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Yeah, simple. Tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, 14-7. I will remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Right down the middle, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Fields now to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. On play action, Fields. And that will be incomplete.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. Open here, Adam Thielen. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the... Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the 2nd half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They go play action. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Cousins from the gun on third. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at the 15. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. But their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he will have the Bears first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
First down, Chicago.
Now a first down throw. Fields. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now it's Fields. Caught by Montgomery. Touchdown, Chicago! David Montgomery, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Santos with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Cook. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Escaping the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The sack there by Roquan Smith. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Fields. Pass incomplete.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area and he just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fielded at about the 28. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 2nd down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Play action now. Cousins. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the fourth down conversion. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner. We're watching him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Again, it's Cousins. And that'll be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that gives them a 3-point lead.
Vikings 24, Bears.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Out of the gun, Fields. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears weren't realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll make it second down. Throwing, Cousins. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. Second and 11. To throw is Fields. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
First down, Chicago.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run with Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he finds Gronk. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Read option, here's Montgomery. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is a 26-yard attempt. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you, these division games, never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game on the road, tight. And they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for the Bears, it's a rare bright spot as they move to 3 and 10 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9 and 4. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.